Hi, it's Luang from Google Tech, and today I'm gonna show you the new version of my air quality monitor that I was working on from the last video. This time I managed to put them on in a PCB even though it's handmade at home like you can see here, but it's become more neat and easier to manage compared to the bundle that you see here with the breadboard, and it's ready to become an independent device. Like you can see here, it just needs one power supply cable here. The second thing that I have changed is that I replaced the Adafruit SXT31 by this the cheap version of it that you can find online. The Adafruit is usually $30 and this one is $3, so it's like 10 times cheaper. It's worth to try one. And the third thing I did change is that I remove the second temperature sensor and replace it by the air quality sensor, the SGP30. Like you can see here, that's why on the screen you can see the CO2 equivalent and the total volatile organic compound. Like you can see here, is the new value that I have here. Let me show you how this works. See, and I'm gonna start to blow into this sensor and see the value gonna be changed. You see this, it shows the change of the CO2 changing, and the moment I stop, it slowly go back to the original value. You have the temperatures and the humidity here. So let me show you about this new sensor that I added here. It's the SPG30. It's obsoleted, but it's still good to use because I can measure both the VOC and the CO2 equivalent. So this sensor, it was based on this is how it works. It's a sensing element that make of metal oxide, and when it gets heated, it can react with whatever's in the air, and those reactions change in the charge, and that's how it could tell you more or less how much of the thing in the air that you have there. That's the interesting part. So when it works, it's gonna hit this one is the sensor element, and it's gonna be very hot. Okay, let me show you. So you see here, the hottest part here is 61 degrees. It's where the air quality, the one that sensing the volatile component, like you can see here, and CO2, like you can see the red number here is 65, 66 degrees. So this pretty hot when it works, and I think it may consume a lot of energy. I haven't measured it yet, but I will check on that. So let's come look into detail of this one. Okay, so this is very similar to the previous circuit, except that one of the SXT31 is replaced by the SGP30. There's something for you to pay attention to. I did check that this sensor somehow it works based on the standard I2C, but somehow it doesn't work with I2C0, and it works only with I2C1, which is fine because we can put the oled and the temperature sensor in the same I2C bus, like I2C here. Just that's the only important thing to pay attention, because if you swap the I2C, it may not work. I don't know why, but like this setup, it works with the Raspberry Pi 2040, it works like that. So sensor, temperature sensor SXT31 and the SSD 1306 we connect to the I2C0, and the quality sensor will be connected to the I2C1. That will be reflect in the code that you can see here. It's based on the original code of Adafruit. Okay, I need to add their library in here. As you can see now, the I2C0 is connected to OLED and the sensor 1, which is SXT31. The I2C1 is connected to SGP30. With this sensor, they are a little bit more complicated than the other one, is that they have to calibrate themselves using the baseline, whatever you see here. They call it the baseline, so they update the data on the run so it can adapt to the environment that they're working in. Is the original code, so you like can see you don't need to touch those other information that they can update and do it on their own. I just talk about the part that I add them to the screen. Like you can see here, I add the I read out the CO2 equivalent and the TVOC to present on the screen, and I check them every 2 seconds so that it shows here, like you can see. Now when we check on this with the blowing thing, it works perfectly fine, like you can see here. So when you change or you blow on it, it's gonna tell you immediately that there's a change in the CO2 or the equivalent and the volatile component. So that is the one. It's just one thing that I noticed when I do this is that the temperature sensor here, the temperature that it reads is usually like 1 or 2 degrees higher than it's supposed to be. Okay, so you already see the part here when it's 65 degrees, so that is normally fine. This is the spot of the second camera. It shows that it's 27 degrees when the around the environment is around like 24 degrees, like you see here. But when it plugged into this one, this sensor somehow it come like 26. Let me see here. 27, 26 degrees. So it's like the temperature getting higher. I don't know, is it because it's connected to the circuit, like the wiring that I did here could have effect on this, because it's getting hot. It's getting hotter than the surrounding environment. Like you can see at 24 is around there, 24 degrees. So this may be the thing that I need to think about, how to arrange my sensor in a way that they don't have effect on each other. Like it said 27, 28 degrees here. It said 27 here. Like you can see, instead of the value that we should treat around 24, 25 degrees. So that is the problem with this sensor. I don't have the original Adafruit sensor to test with, but I do notice when I extend the cable, put it on a cable and plug it from this much distance, the temperature go like 1 or 2 degrees lower, become the normal environment temperature. So that is the thing I should pay attention. I could try to change it in the next design to see if save the sensor from getting hot on itself, because when the thing get hot, the humidity also change, because the humidity like strongly depend on this temperature that it is. For 1-2 degrees, maybe in this case not important, but you may need that in your application. My other plan is that since I got this new sensor here, I only want to measure the particulate matter, so I got this from Plant Tower, the PM 2.5 sensory. Okay, so I got the PMS 5003 ST. This one can measure the level of formaldehyde, also humidity and temperature. So we can add them in to see how precise this one and see if does it have the effect like this one. I also working on the case for this one, and I will show you in my next video. So if you're interested in the content and want to see how far this is go, you can subscribe to my channel and we can see in the next one. Happy making!